I've never been banned, but I've had my stuff taken off.
Oh, okay.
But I've never been banned or even warned, but I have had my stuff
Wow.
just taken off. They just took it off for some reason.
Yeah.
I guess I didn't like
I
it.
do tend to be quite vulgar sometimes if I'm my passion is riled up. I can get passionate, especially talking about the sheriff here. I can get fired up.
Now the podcasts are on Spotify too, correct?
Yep, it's on all available podcast streaming services. So Apple, Google Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast Addict, all of them.
Yeah, just go to your favorite podcast host or your favorite source and just put in Vote Matt or Swamp Fox Network. Really, if you just put that in, everything comes up.
Right, all the shows will come up under the Swamp Fox Podcasting Network. And if there's feedback, we'd love to get feedback. We can see the analytics of how many downloads and listens we have and the general area of where the listens are from. Mm-hmm. And I think we're up to like 10 different countries now.
Yeah. It's amazing the way that works, isn't it?
It's strange. It's really strange.
I've got 2 listeners in India. Every week it's between 2 and 4 different listeners in India that listen to my podcast. And it's every week. It's every week. Okay.
Yeah.
I guess they're fans.
Yeah. That's great. Yeah. We're, Russia and Scandinavia. We're pretty big there for some reason. Probably the anarchy.
Maybe that could be.
But I'm very surprised at how it's taken off. But I'm not surprised at the same time. I'm not surprised it's taken off because there's really a need that people are feeling for real information. They want unfiltered and unbiased information. And you can't really trust anybody in the mainstream. And really, I would tell people you shouldn't trust me either. You can, take what I say and research it. And if I'm wrong, call me out and I'll fix it.
I do the same thing. Please don't take my word for it. I am never going to lie to you, but I have been mistaken before. So
sure.
if you find out that I'm wrong, please tell me. I'll be the first to admit it. I had a podcast not too terribly long ago, and I used the wrong word at the end, and somebody called me out on it. And I said, I didn't say this. And when you listen to it again, you most certainly did. And it was something that was just, it was 180 degrees from what I wanted to say. I think I used the word socialist instead of conservative or something like that. And I thought, I didn't say that, did I? I went back and listened, and heck if I didn't. I screwed up. Okay, I misspoke. So people do that all the time.
Yeah, and I get, from the fiance, she's like, "You're going to get sued. And I say, look, I'm not worried about getting sued because I'm telling the truth. If I was lying, then I would have something to worry about."
Yeah, you've really got to be careful. And the My Pillow guy is the biggest. He's getting sued right now by those folks who make the voting machines because he kept saying these voting machines stole the election.
That's right.
And they put a cease and desist on it. Look, if you really believe this, prove it or shut up. And he wouldn't prove it, and he wouldn't shut up, and they're taking him to court.
There you go, because that's going to affect their business.
Exactly. You can't just say that. If he was right, he needs to show proof, and he couldn't. Right. So he's going to make a whole lot of pillows to pay his lawyer bill.
Right. And even then, from the other side, I could say prove I'm lying. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. When it comes to politics and politicians. I would say you're a publicly elected official. I'm a private citizen. You prove I'm lying and that I caused damages.
Exactly. And rarely does that happen. And in the whole talk show host theater, I'll give 2 examples. Example number 1 is Bill O'Reilly, who I love Bill O'Reilly. He was my favorite guy on Fox News. He was the only guy on Fox News I really liked, okay, because he had a good show. The whole No Spin, I bought that, and I believed
it. Is he not on there anymore?
No, He's not on Fox News at all because he got sued for sexual harassment, and between the network and himself, he wrote something like $100 million in checks to people.
Yikes!
Yeah. Now, but he said, but I was innocent, friend.
Okay.
If you're innocent, you're not writing $100 million worth of checks to people. Okay, between him and the network, they wrote close to $100 million in checks to people. Yeah. That's number one. Number two is Sean Hannity. And during the middle of all this, some lady accused him of sexual improprieties. And he got on his television show and he said, "You're wrong. You're lying. You either retract that or prove it. You're not going to be able to prove it, so retract it or I will sue you." The next day, she got on with her attorney and she apologized. She said she made it all up. She didn't mean any harm, and she asked forgiveness. That was an innocent man.
Yeah, that's true.
Big difference. He never wrote a check to anyone, and nobody has accused him of anything since then.
No, I've heard. I dated a girl one time who was a producer for Fox News, and she moved to Charlotte. She works for the local news, and she would tell me about the different personalities there at Fox News. And she just said, Sean Hannity's a jerk, but, he believes what he says, that kind of thing. He's just a jerk to everybody.
Well, it's not against the law to be a jerk.
Right. No,
it is against the law to sexually harass women.
Super type A. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, he's a super type A personality. That's how he got where he is. And,
right.
Usually they're jerks.
Right. Yeah. Probably so.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Once again, if somebody wants to listen to the Vote Matt podcast or get a hold of you, what's the best way?
We do have the Half-Assed Homesteading Facebook page.
Okay.
So you can get on there, Half-Assed Homesteading on Facebook. There's comment sections on iTunes, I believe. So if you look up the Swamp Fox Podcasting Network, you can see all our shows there. You can, I guess, get a hold of James Strong through his email because we don't have one.
You can, JamesStrongShow@hotmail.com. You can always drop me a message and I'll make sure you get it.
Yeah. Maybe I'll do that. Gmail's free, so maybe I'll start a Gmail account for the Vote Matt podcast.
It is free.
So, yeah, I'll do that tonight. How about that? VoteMattPodcast@gmail.com.
Okay. That will be, I hope it's not taken.
Yeah.
Well, very good. Well, last question I have. We had a tough winter here in Missouri. We had a stretch where it was below zero. It got down below zero 3 straight nights. For 3 straight days, 3 or 4 straight days, it never got into the double digits. Just a horrible winter.
Yeah.
I take it yours wasn't as bad.
It wasn't too shabby. I don't want to brag, but I think we dipped into the 30s a couple times.
Yeah.
That was about it.
Yeah.
And today was 65, 70 and sunny. But the pollen's starting to come out. So we pay for it in the spring and the summer. We pay our dues.
Yeah. It is hot and sticky in South Carolina in the summertime.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And I know you have mild winters because every morning I put fresh kale in my smoothie, and that kale comes from South Carolina. It's on the little tag that wraps around it, South Carolina.
Nice. Well, we appreciate your support.
Very good. Well, hey, thanks for coming on the podcast. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much for having me.
You bet.
It's always a pleasure.
Take care of yourself and tell Mike hello.
All right, I will.
And the lovely Caitlin, too.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
All right, bye.
Well, that's it. We're done. JamesStrongShow@hotmail.com. That's how you can get a hold of me if you want to get a hold of me for any other reason. And if you want to get Matt a message, I'll make sure I get that to him too. But, and of course, you can catch the Strong Show on any place you get your podcasts. That's it. We're done. Until next time, this is James Strong saying adios.